Good morning. Good morning, all. Okay, so E stands for, E is always less than 2k square by D. Okay, this is the radius of the section and this is the depth of the section, right? And along with that, what else we have seen yesterday, Amma? So we have calculated what is the condition for no tension in the member. Okay, condition for no tension in the member. What do you mean this? What do you mean no tension in the member? No tension in the member means no reversal of stresses. Okay, that means how to avoid the negative stress in the member. Okay, how to avoid the negative stress in the member? To avoid this negative stress in the member, you have to see your eccentrical distance from center of section, okay, should be always in a limit. Okay, so how, when you can avoid the reversal of stresses, amma? Reversal of stresses and negative stress ni మనం avoid చేయాలి. How to avoid that? To avoid that, your eccentrical distance from center of section should always be within the limit. Okay, so should always be within the limit. So what is that limit? So we have seen yesterday two examples. One is a rectangular section. So let us take for a rectangular section, what is your elastic, so what is your eccentrical limit? So if you take your elastical section, this is called what? The area where you are supposed to apply the load within the eccentrical distance. Okay, so this distance is what? This is what? D by 3, and this is what? B by 3. Okay, and what is the eccentrical distance? It should always be less than or equal to D by 6 undali. Avuna? So this is the what? So that means when you apply the load, your load always should be within this distance, D by 6 distance lone undali. If it is crossing D by 6 distance, definitely your rectangular section may subjected to tension. Okay, ante negative stress develop aye chance untundannamata. Okay, so that is what we discussed yesterday. And another important one is circular section. Circular section, if you take a circular section, okay, this is your center. Very important, that's why I'm just revising it again. Okay, and the eccentrical distance should always be within the limit. E limit lone undali. Okay, so what is this limit? So this is what? D by 4. Okay, D by 4 distance lone undali. Okay, so that means, what do you mean D by 4? Your eccentrical distance should always be less than or equal to D by 8. Okay, so when your eccentrical distance is less than or equal to D by 8, so obviously your circular section never be undergo negative stresses. Understand? So these two are very, very important, Amma. So I think till this point we have discussed in the previous class, and we have calculated, we have solved a few problems on how to calculate the maximum and minimum stresses, and stress diagrams kuda manam draw chesam, right? So even we have drawn the stress diagrams also. Clear? Understand? Right, so this is the things what we discussed. So today what we are going to discuss is the new topic, okay, which is very, very important. In the same direct and bending stresses, we have to see the real applications of direct and bending stresses. Okay, yeah. So now you guys, you tell me, what are the other real applications where those structures are subjected to direct and bending stresses? There are 3 important structural elements which are subjected to direct and bending stresses combinedly, which we called as the resultant stresses. The first one is chimney. Second one is retaining wall. Third one is masonry dam. Okay, right? So let's see how these are going to be subjected to direct and bending stresses. First one, chimney. What do you mean chimney, Amma? Chimney is a vertical member okay. So I think you all know what do you mean chimney. Chimney is a vertical structural member which is subjected to a compression force along with wind force also. Okay. If you see in industries, there is a huge flume pipe ఉంటుంది పెద్దది. Okay, to exhaust the gases anamata. So that is called a chimney. Okay. So next one is retaining wall. Okay, so this is the retaining wall. So this is completely soil. Okay, this is ground level, completely soil, and this is the retaining wall. Okay, and the next one is the dam. Okay, so this is completely water. Okay, and even in the downstream also you will have a water. Okay, Namma, right? So this is the water level. Water level always indicates symbol like this. Okay, yeah. So now why these structures are considered as a members which are subjected to direct and bending stresses? Okay, we have to know. So please try to observe carefully. Here this is a chimney where this is the original axis of the member. Okay, so this chimneys always will have a self weight. Okay, due to the self weight, your chimney will have a direct load which is W. Along with that, these chimneys will be subjected to wind force also. Okay, Nama? So this is called wind load. This wind load will create a bending stress to the member. Okay, if you see the stress diagram of this chimney, the stress diagram of this chimney will be like this. Okay, so this is the stress diagram of the chimney. Okay, so that means there is a zero stress at top and the maximum stress at bottom. Okay, so due to there is a direct load which is called load by cross sectional area of the member. Along with that, there will be wind load which creates a bending stress in the member. Okay, at which portion of the chimney you will have a maximum bending stress, Amma? Top or bottom? At which portion your chimneys will have a maximum bending stress? Top or bottom?
Bottom, sir.
Bottom. Okay, so the maximum bending stress will be always at the bottom. Okay, this bending stress is developed due to the wind load. Okay, this wind, what it creates, this wind will make your chimney to turn like this. Okay, to twist with this portion. So by that, the maximum bending stresses will develop at the bottommost portion of the member. Okay, so that is how direct and bending stresses will occur in the chimney. Okay, so tall structures will always be subjected to wind load. Wind loads creates member to have a bending at the support. Okay, that's how chimneys are the best examples for the combined direct and bending stresses. Okay, right. Next one, retaining wall. In this retaining wall also, this wall will have its own weight. Okay, so this we call it as a self weight. Along with self weight, this retaining will have the soil pressure. So this will have a soil pressure. What will be the pressure? Your pressure will be like this. So this is called earth pressure. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఎలా అయితే నేను wind pressure అని మాట్లాడానో, so here due to the soil, okay, which is at the back side of the retaining wall, will create pressure on the retaining wall. So that pressure is an earth pressure, and again here also there will be direct load which is due to self weight, and due to the earth pressure, okay, there will be maximum stress develops at the bottommost portion of the retaining wall, okay, which is again a bending stress which is developed at the bottommost portion. Understand? Okay, so this is what the retaining wall. Clear? Understand? So by that, retaining is wall also one of the best application where member is subjected to both direct and bending stresses. Okay, and the next one, third one is masonry dam. Every masonry dam will have a self weight. Okay, along with that there will be pressure develops in the dam. What pressure, amma? So this is called water pressure. What is the water pressure diagram? Your water pressure diagram of the this thing is this. Okay, the pressure in the dam due to water will be more at bottom and zero at top. Okay, so this is called upstream level under dinni. Okay, so this is upstream level and this is called downstream level. Okay, what is the pressure diagram at the downstream level, amma? At the downstream level your pressure diagram will be like this. Okay, not only these two, in the dams there will be another pressure which will always act from the bottom of the dam. This pressure from the bottom of the dam, this pressure is called, can anyone know? Uplift pressure. Okay, see what happens, when your dam is constructed in the water, okay, there will be water even below the dam also. This below the dam, this water will try to lift the dam. Okay, due to the uplift pressure, this water will makes your dam to float. Okay, so to sustain the floating, the dam should have a more self weight. Dam ki eppudaithe self weight ekku untundo, definitely dam won't be lift up anamata. Okay, so to have the dam should have a more self weight, it always should rest on the soil. Okay, it should not have a more uplift pressure. Okay, so to control that uplift pressure only, what happens, to control this uplift pressure, every dam will have a inspection gallery here like this. In this inspection gallery, what happens, to control this uplift pressure, there will be some seepage allowed into the dam to pass water from upstream to downstream. Okay, with some seepage. This seepage will control the uplift pressure in the dam. Ardhamainda? So this is called inspection gallery. In this inspection gallery, you can see how the water seepage happens from top, from the upstream portion of the dam to the downstream portion. That seepage is always benefit. That seepage we should always be allowed up to some extent to control the uplift pressure in the dam. Ardhamainda? So these are the three best examples of the direct and bending stresses. Understand? So if you try to solve problems on chimneys, retaining walls, and masonry dams, that's it. This unit is done. Okay. So now what we do, we will try to know what is chimney, what is the how to calculate the wind force in the chimneys, how to calculate the direct stress and bending stresses in the chimneys. Okay, we will try to solve one or two problems on chimneys, and then we will move on to the retaining wall, and then we will move on to the masonry dams. Okay, if we try to complete all these three topics in this particular module, then this module will be finished. Okay, so this is what we have to understand from the direct and bending stresses. I hope you all guys understood this unit very nicely from the basic concepts of what is direct stress, what is bending stress, how these stresses are going to be developed. Based on this, how we are going to calculate the maximum and minimum stresses. Okay, how to maintain the eccentrical distance in the column to control the negative stresses developed in the member. Understand? So that is why I think what we learned from the particular module. Okay, so any doubts somewhat till now? Guys, any doubts? Andarki ardhamainda what is direct and bending stresses? ఈ application కూడా ardhamainda andarki? What is chimney, what is retaining wall, and what is masonry dam? Clear? Right? So then now we will move on to what is wind pressure on chimneys first. Okay, so let's keep the heading wind pressure on chimneys. Okay, so what is you mean chimney? Chimneys will be in a different cross section. Chimneys will be a circular cross section which is having a tapered circular cross section anamata. Okay, chimneys will have a square cross sections like this. Okay, there might be a different cross sections like this. Circular cross sectional chimneys untai, square cross sectional chimneys untai. All right, so basically chimneys are tall structures. Okay, so basically chimneys are tall structures which are subjected to horizontal wind pressure. Okay, which are basically subjected to horizontal wind pressure. Why wind pressure? Because they are tall. These structures are very tall. Okay, tall structures always will be subjected to more wind pressure. So due to this horizontal wind force, what happens, the base of the chimney shaft is subjected to bending moment. Okay, due to this horizontal wind pressure, at base, okay, at this base, what happens, maximum bending moment will occur. Okay, so these tall structures, because of having more in height, because of the horizontal wind pressure, at the base point, okay, at the support point, the maximum bending moment will occur. Thus the base of such tall chimneys, there will be bending stresses due to wind force and direct stresses due to the self weight. Okay, both will happen. So for these structures, so what happens, due to the self weight W, direct stress will develop, which is load by area. Okay, and bending stress is developed, which is M by Z. Okay, it is due to, this bending stress is due to what, Amma? This bending stress is due to the horizontal axial pressure. Okay, so here the bending stress M will develop due to horizontal bending stress, and Z is nothing but section modulus of the section. Okay, so here moment develops. So in the previous problems, how moment was developed? In the previous problems, moment was developed with the load into eccentrical distance. Avuna? Okay, but here this moment is not developed due to eccentrical distance. This moment is developed due to the maximum horizontal wind pressure. Due to the horizontal maximum wind pressure at supports, members will have a maximum bending moment. Understand? So this is what you have to understand clearly, the direct and bending stresses in the other applications like chimneys, retaining walls, and dams. Okay, it is here nothing eccentrical comes into picture. Okay, the concept type in number. Okay, there is no eccentrical point comes into picture. Here all bending stresses will develop due to the bending moment only. Okay, so where the bending moment will develop? Bending moment will develop at the base portion of the chimneys. Okay, why? Because due to the horizontal wind pressure. Okay, మీ అందరికి కాన్సెప్ట్ తెలుసు. In your strength of materials you have learned, if you see a cantilever beam when it is subjected to load, what is the maximum bending moment? Your maximum bending moment will be W into L, and the maximum bending moment diagram is like this. Avuna? So why W into L? Because load into distance is moment. The maximum bending moment will always develop at the support. Okay, ఇదే portion ని మీరు vertical గా imagine చేయండి. The same portion you consider it as a vertical like this. So this load is wind load. Okay, so what is the stress diagram? Your stress diagram will be like this. So where is the maximum bending? Maximum bending moment will occur at support. See, that's it. So whatever the concept you have learned in your strength of materials, the same you have to understand it here as well. Okay, so this is what about direct stress and bending stress in the chimneys. Okay, so here you have to understand it clearly. In bending stresses, your moment is developed at the support of the chimney due to the horizontal wind pressure. Okay, and one more thing, the pressure which is due to the wind is usually specified as a horizontal force on a unit area of a vertical plane. So why? Because here this horizontal wind portion where it is applying, it is applying on the surface of the chimney. Okay, this surface of the chimney, it might be either curved surface or it might be either flat surface. Why? Because if you take the square chimney, the surface will be always flat. If you take a circular chimney, your surface will be always curved anamata. So it is always based on the exposed portion of the wind which is acting on the area, unit area of the vertical plane. Okay, so based on that only you are going to calculate the horizontal wind pressure. Okay, so what happens if the area exposed to the wind which is curved? Okay, as in the case of the cylindrical chimney, the magnitude of the force will always be less than the area on the surface. Okay, that's why comparing with the curved chimney and the square chimney, curved chimney will be always better. Curved chimney will be always better. Why? Because the magnitude of force will be less than, will be always less than when the area of surface is flat. Ardhamainda? Very important. The curved chimney will always be better when the magnitude of the force will be less than when the area of the surface is flat. That's why curved chimneys are always best. Okay, so here one of the important parameter we have to learn, which is the reduction factor. Okay, so reduction factor. So what is this reduction factor? This reduction factor is indicated with the symbol K. Okay, so what is this K? K stands for which is depending upon the shape of the area exposed to the wind, which is called the coefficient of wind resistance. Dinne coefficient of wind resistance under. Why? Because chimneys are all subjected to wind force, right? So by that, every chimney will have a different K factor. This K factor is nothing but coefficient of wind resistance, which will be always depends on the shape of area exposed to wind anamata. Okay, so this K is always depends on the shape of the area exposed to winds. That means the K for the circular cross sectional shape will be different. K for the square cross sectional surface will be different. Okay, K for the rectangular cross sectional surface will be different, right? So by that, K is nothing but reduction factor. K is something like a coefficient of wind resistance, which always depends on the shape of area exposed to the wind. Okay, if anyone asks you what do you mean K ante meer cheppali. K is nothing but reduction factor.